The memo landed like a grenade in Microsoft's Redmond headquarters. Nearly 4% of the workforce gone. Amazon's CEO delivered similar news, couched in the sanitized language of AI-driven efficiency gains. Across Silicon Valley, the pattern repeated like a grim echo. Hire the algorithm, fire the human. It was supposed to be the dawn of a new productivity era. Instead, it's becoming one of corporate America's most expensive mistakes. Here's the number that should make every C-suite executive break into a cold sweat. 55% of businesses that replaced employees with AI now regret it. That's not a rounding error, it's a referendum. Companies from Tesla to Duolingo, from IBM to obscure Australian telecoms, made the same calculation and reached the same painful conclusion. They'd been sold a bill of goods. That 55% regret rate translates to billions in wasted capital. When you factor in severance packages, recruitment costs for replacement hires, lost productivity during transitions, and damaged customer relationships, the true price tag of Silicon Valley's AI miscalculation likely exceeds $100 billion across the industry. Step back to 2017, when Elon Musk unveiled his vision for what he called the machine that builds the machine. A Tesla production line so automated it would barely need human hands. The Model 3 factory was going to revolutionize manufacturing, churning out 5,000 vehicles weekly through the seamless choreography of artificial intelligence and robotics. Reality had other plans. The robots tasked with installing front seats broke down 5 times daily. Industry standard? Once a month, if that. Production targets became punchlines, bottlenecks multiplied like rabbits, and the billion-dollar automated system proved about as reliable as a chocolate teapot. New technology collided with inadequate maintenance protocols, creating what was essentially a house of cards built at factory scale. Tesla's solution? Humans. Lots of them. The company launched something called the Sprung Project, basically a temporary production line where flesh and blood workers did what the robots couldn't. By April 2018, even Musk had to eat crow, tweeting the understatement of the decade: humans are underrated. The grand automation experiment didn't just fail, it nearly bankrupted the company. Production eventually recovered, but only after Tesla remembered a principle as old as the Industrial Revolution. Efficiency without adaptability is just expensive fragility. If Tesla's story was a warning shot, the service industry's AI adoption became a nightmare. Take CLA, a company that decided chatbots could replace human customer service agents. The workforce shrank from 5,000 to 2,000 employees, a 60% reduction that looked phenomenal on spreadsheets. Initial reports claimed the AI handled 2/3 of all interactions. Leadership crowed about the future. The CEO publicly predicted AI would replace half the remaining workforce within years. Then, the medical examiner's report came back. Problem resolution times climbed 27%. Customer dissatisfaction surged 35% in just 3 months. The chatbots approved vacation requests that shouldn't have been approved, botched responses to workplace conflicts, and generally performed like a manager who'd suffered a severe head injury. By 2025, that same CEO had completely reversed course, declaring that quality human support is the way of the future for us. Translation? We screwed up, badly. The pattern repeated across industries with numbing consistency. Taco Bell deployed automated voice ordering in 500 locations only to watch customers rage at machines that couldn't understand no sour cream. Duolingo's AI-first strategy crashed lesson quality so badly that error rates hit 42% in some courses, causing an 18% drop in user retention during the first quarter. Real people abandoning a broken product in real time. Australian telecom Telstra fired 2,800 employees and watched response times balloon 25%. Shopify made new hires conditional on proving AI couldn't do the job first, creating project delays and an atmosphere where employees auditioned against algorithms for their right to employment. Each company thought they'd found the efficiency holy grail. Each discovered they'd bought a very expensive lemon. Anyone who's been trapped in an AI chatbot loop knows this frustration intimately. The nightmare of trying to explain a simple problem to software that responds with the conversational range of a fortune cookie. Eventually, you crack. You pick up the phone, you find a human who solves your issue in 90 seconds. MIT research delivers the knockout punch. Only 5% of AI integrations generate immediate revenue increases. The other 95% fail to achieve significant results, typically due to inadequate planning, poor data quality, or insufficient employee training. That's not a technology problem. That's a management problem. Numbers on a balance sheet don't capture the organizational wreckage. Companies that implemented AI without human oversight experienced a 22% spike in voluntary turnover within 6 months. Recruitment and training costs jumped 18%. Customer satisfaction scores nosedived. Brand loyalty, that intangible asset that takes years to build and seconds to destroy, evaporated like morning dew under a blowtorch. Employees who survived the cuts found themselves working in what Business Insider dubbed office paranoia. Workplaces saturated with dread, where artificial intelligence lurked as an ever-present threat. The psychological dynamic is straightforward. Tell people they're replaceable, and they'll start believing it. Once they believe it, they'll leave before you can fire them. You'll lose institutional knowledge, client relationships, and the intangible wisdom that separates experienced professionals from algorithm-wielding amateurs. When workers believe they're being systematically devalued, stress metastasizes, motivation crumbles, and your best talent starts quietly updating their LinkedIn profiles. Here's the plot twist. AI isn't the villain. Stupid implementation is. Companies that deploy AI gradually and strategically report productivity increases up to 35% and operational cost reductions of 27%. Logistics firms using AI-powered route optimization alongside human supervision cut delivery delays by 18% without sacrificing customer experience. The pattern is consistent. AI as a tool produces results. AI as a replacement produces disaster. Consider how UPS deployed AI. The company didn't fire drivers. It equipped them with Orion, an algorithm that optimizes delivery routes. Drivers kept their contextual knowledge of neighborhoods, traffic patterns, and customer preferences. The AI handled the computational heavy lifting. Result? 100 million fewer miles driven annually, $400 million in savings, and 0 layoffs. That's what strategic implementation looks like. 80% of business leaders now plan to train employees in AI tools. 41% have increased learning and development budgets. These aren't companies abandoning technology. They're companies that learn the difference between automation and augmentation. The successful model puts AI and humans in complementary roles. AI handles data processing, pattern recognition, and repetitive analytical tasks. Humans provide contextual judgment, creative problem-solving, and the ability to recognize when the algorithm is confidently spouting nonsense. One recent survey found 40% of workers using ChatGPT save 1 to 5 hours weekly, not because the AI replaced them, but because it handled the grunt work while they focused on higher value activities. Route optimization software doesn't eliminate truck drivers, it makes them more efficient. Language models don't replace writers. They handle first draft drudgery so writers can focus on actual thinking. Customer service AI doesn't eliminate support staff. It filters routine questions so humans can tackle complex issues requiring empathy and judgment. Tesla's production line teaches us something fundamental about organizational resilience. Systems optimized for perfect conditions are fragile. A single robot malfunction can halt an entire assembly line. A human worker facing an unexpected problem improvises. This isn't romantic nostalgia for pre-digital workplaces. It's recognition that human adaptability remains our most valuable competitive advantage. When the unexpected happens, and in business, the unexpected always happens, algorithms trained on historical patterns freeze. People adjust. The financial markets offer a stark parallel. High-frequency trading algorithms can execute millions of transactions per second. But during flash crashes or unprecedented market conditions, human traders become indispensable. The algorithm knows what worked yesterday. The human knows that today is fundamentally different. An MIT study cuts through the hype with surgical precision. Only 7% of AI initiatives in companies generate significant returns. The remaining 93% produce no measurable results. That's not a technology failure, it's a strategic failure. Successful AI integration requires comprehensive planning that acknowledges human psychology alongside technical capabilities. It demands clear communication about what AI can and cannot do, continuous training programs, and honest assessment of where automation helps versus where it harms. The evidence from Tesla, CLA, IBM, Duolingo, Telstra, Shopify, and dozens of other companies points toward an unavoidable conclusion. Organizational success depends on balancing technological capability with human judgment. Not because humans are morally superior to machines, but because we're functionally different in ways that matter. AI excels at scale, consistency, and processing power. Humans excel at ambiguity, creativity, and recognizing when the rules need to change. Companies that understand this distinction and design systems accordingly are thriving. Companies that treated employees as expensive widgets waiting for robotic replacement are drowning in regret. Silicon Valley sold businesses a fantasy of frictionless automation, where algorithms would simply slot into human roles and perform better, faster, cheaper. The fantasy collided with reality, and reality won decisively. 55% regret rates aren't statistical noise, they're a market correction. They represent billions in wasted investment, countless damaged careers, and customer relationships burned for the sake of efficiency metrics that never materialized. They represent the cost of forgetting that businesses aren't just systems to be optimized, but human organizations operating in human contexts. The future of work won't be humans versus machines. It'll be humans with machines, in configurations we're still figuring out through expensive trial and error. The companies learning this lesson are adapting. The companies still chasing the full automation fantasy are writing their own obituaries, one pink slip at a time. Your move, C-suite. The data is in, the bodies are counted, and the bills are coming due. The question isn't whether AI has a place in your organization. It does. The question is whether you'll learn from the $100 billion mistake your competitors already made, or whether you're determined to repeat it with your own employees, your own customers, and your own shareholders' money. Choose wisely. They're watching. At Market Media, your opinion matters to us. Have you experienced AI replacing roles at your company? Share your story in the comments below.